so much. My best friend told me that I need to quit sharing all his baby pictures on Facebook because he's 10 now, but I just see an infant when I look at him. But without further ado, I want to introduce my guest today is Mr. Neal Pinkston. He has taken time out of his busy schedule to come and sit down and talk about this upcoming election that is taking place on May the 3rd. Early voting does begin April the 13th and ends April the 18th. So we're going to jump right in. If you're tuning in on Facebook, make sure you like and share. If you are riding in your car and heading into your office, make sure you log on to www.100.1fm.com and you all can listen virtually. So without further ado, Mr. Neal Pinkston in the building.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
Good. I'm 47 and my mother still shares pictures of me. So I don't think that's going to stop anytime soon for you, which that's your right to do that.
Thank you. I'm glad you can relate.
Yes.
But are you embarrassed when she shares the pictures?
Oh, not anymore. No.
So let's talk about the election. You have been in the DA's office since 2003.
That's right. I started in June of 2003 as an assistant DA in criminal court. In 2007, I was promoted to the executive assistant district attorney, which is essentially the top trial assistant, and you manage all the prosecutors. And I did that for 7 years. And then my former boss, District Attorney Bill Cox, decided to retire. And so I was elected and took office in September of 2014.
Oh, wow. So you've been around this game for a while.
Yeah, it's pushing almost 20 years now.
How's it affecting your personal life? Because I can imagine that you have to bring a lot of work home.
I do, but it can be all consuming, but you've got to figure out a way to leave, to have a balanced life, which is not always easy. But my family helps me achieve that, whether I sometimes want it or not. So
okay, so you're not sleeping on the couch tonight, are you?
No.
Okay, that's good. So are you from Chattanooga? Did you go to school here? Tell us about
I grew up in South Knoxville in Sevier County, and went to Middle Tennessee State for college.
Okay.
Graduated in 1997 and then went to University of Tennessee Law School. And then for a couple of years as a lawyer, I worked for a small firm in East Tennessee, did mostly criminal defense. And so we went all over East Tennessee representing people that had been charged with crimes. And then since I was the young lawyer, if the public defender had a conflict, I got a bunch of appointed cases, people who couldn't, hire counsel. And so I did that in state court and then also in federal court, and then came here and became a prosecutor.
Okay, so you've had experience on both sides. So, and I think that, would you agree that kind of contributes to you being able to use your position to help enrich the community and not just about, because I think DAs have a bad rep of just wanting to lock people up.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It helps because you understand what people who charged with crimes, what they're worried about, what their families are worried about. And it also helps on the prosecution side. You see what victims worry about and victims' families. And, the goal is always to do justice or do the right thing. And it is a misconception that we're always out to lock people up. It's not about wins or losses. It's about doing what's right and doing justice. And I think we do a pretty good job of that.
I would have to agree too. I would definitely have to agree. I think that, like I told you before we started talking in my experience, I think that we would do a pretty fair job around here with giving people opportunities and also utilizing some of the other programs like that. I love the mental health court that you all work with now.
Yeah, there's several what we call, I guess you could call recovery courts. There's a mental health court in criminal court, Judge Don Poole. Sessions Court, Judge Lila Statham, Judge McVeigh in Sessions Court does the drug recovery court. Judge Greenholtz has a drug court and criminal court. And then when there are eligible participants, juvenile court has a youth drug court. So all those are, they call them recovery courts, are designed to people that need assistance, therapy, and certain resources to get them back on the, the right path. So they're not sitting in jail when they shouldn't be in jail.
Sure.
So it's those have proven to be successful. And I think as we learn more about recovery courts, I think you'll see them expand here in Hamilton County. They're going to need more resources for sure.
Sure. So how do you feel? Because I know we have a lot of youth. I would say between, because I have two boys, so this is very, something that I'm passionate about. Between the ages of, let's say, maybe 13 and 17, those kids that are getting charged with really kind of heinous crimes, some of them.
Some of them, yeah, and you have to understand too. Juvenile court's a court of rehabilitation. It's not that of punishment like you might see a criminal court or something. And there's some really good programs. Judge Phil Y'all and the prosecutors and public defenders have some really good outreach programs that helps individuals that have been charged in juvenile court. There's YCAP, as I mentioned, the youth drug court, to try and put them in positions to be successful and not go to adult court. Juveniles can only end up in adult court under the most heinous, as you mentioned, the most heinous crimes. It's a very limited number of crimes that the judge can send a individual to adult court. So it's and it should be that way because youth, we've all made dumb mistakes in our life, and so that's Judge Phil Y'all and the prosecutor. They've done a real good job of being progressive, I guess would be the word in juvenile court.
And so if someone wants to vote for you, they would actually have to select the Republican ballot. I'm just kind of confused with how this becomes a Republican Democrat type thing, because it kind of.
Well, it should be a nonpartisan race. It should be, but it's not.
Okay.
But I agree with you. Because as the elected district attorney, as a prosecutor, you shouldn't make decisions based on politics.
Right.
You make decisions on the facts and the law and the evidence. But in this county, the district attorney race is partisan. So May the 3rd, and with the early voting, you can get a Republican ballot or a Democratic ballot. The Democrat, John Brooks, is unopposed. So he will advance on to the general election in August. If you want to vote for me, you have to pick the Republican ballot and vote for Neal Pinkston.
Okay, y'all hear him on here. So callers or listeners, if you are tuning in your car, we do have our phone lines open, 423-713-7614. If you want to call in and say, hey, if you want to offer free lunch, I'm sure Mr. Pinkston will be opposed to some wings or some. Do you eat wings?
Yes.
What's your favorite food?
Oh, favorite food? Probably lasagna, fried chicken, country ham, biscuits and gravy.
Oh, but biscuits and gravy kind of hard to turn down. I like biscuits and gravy. So I do want to make mention that you won a very, I would say, honorable award from the NAACP, the 2019 Thurgood Marshall Award.
Yes, I was humbled and very honored. It's the Justice Award for what I'd done as a prosecutor to help our city, and was the first Caucasian to ever win the award here locally. So,
alrighty. So you don't have no beef with the NAACP, do you?
I do not.
Okay, because that last week somebody called in.
I've talked to Miss Ann Pierre. We've talked at length, and the past president, Dr. Woods. The NAACP, like any other part of this community, we want safe communities, we want decreased crime, and we want everybody to be treated equally under the law. And I don't know who would be against any three of those factors.
I don't know who would be either, Neal. But I'm so happy to have you here. And I would say that from what I've been seeing, you've been doing a great job. And I encourage anybody to tap in, tune in. This is the time to get involved. If you're not registered to vote, you need to go out and register. It's our responsibility. It's not any other way to put that. We have to be involved, because I see too many times people have so much to say, they're complaining. And then I'm sure you probably have people coming down there complaining.
Sure.
And it's like, you're not involved in the community, and I know from my personal experience, you're very approachable, very easy to talk to, and always willing to help and going above and beyond.
Absolutely.
And I think people should,
Yeah, there's a lot of misconceptions about the criminal justice system here locally. And one of the best ways to learn is to actually go to court and sit and watch and be amazed of the stories that you hear, and how a judge is limited, how a prosecutor is limited on what evidence, and what we have a very, very capable defense bar, public defender's office, and just the work that they all do is it's truly amazing to see, because it's a 24/7, 365-day, a year deal. Crimes don't occur on just certain days of the week or certain hours of the day. So it's something's always moving. So it's
and you've got a heart too. So I'm sure you probably hear some stuff and You just it probably breaks your heart to have to do
Oh,
what you have to
absolutely,
do.
absolutely. That's one of the reasons that when we created the cold case unit in 2014 was, there's probably right at 200 unsolved homicides in this county going back to the mid 70s,
Wow.
and at least half, if not more, are minority victims from minorities. And so, just the common thread we've seen with talking to the families, it doesn't matter where they're from, ethnicity, socioeconomic background. They're all bound by the fact that they have a loved one who was murdered, and they don't know who did that. And so they all have. There's this common thread that of sadness and despair, but they all have this common thing, and that was one thing that really got my attention, and that's why we created the cold case unit.
So there was not one before
But
before you?
uh, at times, the city police department had a cold case unit, and I think on occasion the sheriff's office worked on it. But they have limited resources in law enforcement like we do, and so one of the things I wanted to do was create the unit, and it's run out of the DA's office.
Oh, nice.
And it's I have a retired former head of CPD homicide, a retired DEA agent, and then the city police department has assigned a detective to it, and the sheriff has assigned a detective to it. So it's doing things that nobody else in the state does, and I've got enough phone calls about it. Probably unique to in the United States of their success and how they've put that together and how it operates.
Because I would say normally, I mean, if something happens in Chattanooga, the the chance of you getting caught is pretty high. I mean,
There are,
now.
but you got to remember too, with the cold case victims, we have one that's she was 4 when she was murdered,
Oh,
and you have teenagers, senior citizens. It spans all walks of life, and so there's that need, and uh, it's it, that the need to solve those cases will never go away.
hmm. Well, I think it's also pretty safe to say as well that you have been doing a good job at getting the people that need to be off the streets, and the
Yeah,
people that deserve a second chance.
yes, and just because somebody gets arrested, kind of the idea with recovery courts, uh, the sentencing law doesn't dictate that everybody goes to jail or goes to prison. The most violent people, violence against other humans, against children, those are the ones the worst should go be imprisoned. Other people make mistakes or they have substance abuse issues, and so you get to a pretty good being in the system for a while of those who are truly violent and those who just need help and maybe a second chance.
Hmm. All right, then again, y'all, the phone lines are open 423-713-7614. We have Mr. Neal Pinkston in the building, and he's up for reelection. He's been holding it down since 2014. So Mr. Pinkston is up for reelection. We don't want to miss the opportunity to tap in, tune in, ask those questions that need to be asked. If you want to call in to show some support, by all means do so. This is the Flavor with Doll show, and we go up every Wednesday from 11 to 12. So what do you want the people to know about you? If you had a slogan to represent your reelection, what would it be?
I'm a prosecutor. I'm not a politician.
Okay.
And that's the main thing. You don't need a politician being the elected district attorney.
Okay, we got a call. You got my phone line blinking, Mr. Pinkston.
Okay.
Let's see
Great.
who it is. Thank you all so much for tuning in on Facebook as well. Make sure you like and share. You can call in at 423-713-7614. The DA is in the building. He is our DA right now. So, now's the time. Ready? Okay. Hey, caller, it's Doll. I have Mr. Neal Pinkston on the line. Caller, are you there? I can't hear.
Hello, good morning. How are you doing this morning, Flava? Good dog. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. I have enjoyed this so far. Can you all hear me pretty well?
I think, yes, we can hear you now. Good. Thank you so much.
Okay, great. First of all, I just want to say thank you for doing a great job on the show.
I tried. Thank you.
Okay. I wanted to say thank you for doing such a good job with interviewing all the candidates that have come on your show. You're such a delight to watch. And I see you've done a lot of homework on our district attorney. And
A
I
little
want to
bit.
say, first of all, to Mr. Neal Pinkston, it is a delight to see you today on the show.
Thank you very much.
And as I look at you, I see in my eyes a man with a lot of wisdom and a man with a lot of experience and a man who loves his community. I've had an opportunity, and this is no way an endorsement, so people are listening to me on the air right now. This is not an endorsement. I'm just speaking the truth about Mr. Neal. I've had an opportunity to work with him probably for more than 8 years. And during that time, I have got to know him quite well. He has put the worst criminals away, created a safety zone in our community and in our neighborhoods. Some people don't like when you put people away, but I know that victims do. And most of the families that have lost a loved one due to violent crime or gang violence, they love Mr. Neal Pinkston because they have some closure and they feel somewhat vindicated when a person caused tragic loss in their family and they're brought to justice. So I want to thank you for that. And I always tell people when they say anything negative, who are you for, the criminal or are you for the victim? I'm for the victim, and I want to thank you for the years, the 8 years that you have vindicated victims in this community. Also, I want to say that during my tenure at the NAACP, that Mr. Neal Pinkston did receive the highest honor that you can receive for a law enforcement officer, which is the Thurgood Marshall Award. And he got that award because he has worked not only in the white communities, but he has worked in the Black community. He has done so many different projects with the NAACP. He is a member of the NAACP. And that is an honor. That is an honor when you're a member of the NAACP. And people should know that white people can join the NAACP, but he didn't hesitate. He never asked. He just paid his dues. And he has been a member of the NAACP. And every time we have our workshops, our criminal justice seminar that we had hosted before COVID every single summer, his whole entire office and staff were there giving out information and also helping people who have had a bad time in life and needed to have their records expunged. He has a whole program with that. He's got just numerous of programs in his department that only an experienced person in the district attorney's office or area would understand that it is important to have those programs. So I want him to really talk about the Bullseye program that he has and how that has helped, in particular, the African American community, but in general, the entire community of Chattanooga, because people need to understand that it's his job.
Thank you for those.
To put people behind bars when they are causing havoc on our community. I was afraid to drive in certain neighborhoods because drive-bys were just common. People were afraid to sit outside on their front porch and enjoy each other and their family. But Neal stopped it. And I know it's still going on, but you know what, Neal? I thank you for letting these criminals know that if you catch them, they're going to jail and they're going to do some time. I thank you for that.
Yes.
So I want to thank you. And then I'm going to stop talking because I know you got so many minutes and you got to go.
Yes, we
But
do,
I wanted to
Dr.
thank
Woods.
you. I wanted to thank you. I know. I wanted to thank you for doing a good job. This is not an endorsement, so folks don't get on the phone and start calling the IRS and all these other places. I will do what I do when I do my do. So for right now, I just wanted to thank you and let the world know what you've done for Chattanooga. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for those kind words.
welcome.
Our Bullseye coordinator, Shawana Kendrick, was kind of the first. She was the first that ever was in that position. She now runs a local nonprofit, and she did fabulous work. All kinds of stuff. We would have restoration days where people could come about getting their cases expunged, learn about information, how to get their rights restored. We have expungement packets on our website that we routinely help people with. She would also do things like there's a couple examples of times people were unable maybe to be in court or were afraid to come to court, and helped get them transported to court safely. And then unfortunately, there are times when people have been witnesses to violent crime, and they fear their lives for testifying. There could be some type of retribution. So she's helped helped those individuals, worked with the city to relocate those people to safe places in Tennessee and outside of Tennessee, because unfortunately there's no state witness protection program that only exists on the federal level. So
And on TV.
exactly, and on TV. So oftentimes people are afraid to come forward because of what somebody might do to them. So that's just one of the many things that the Bullseye coordinator did, but it's a very valuable resource, and works with Troy Rogers with the city a lot, and other victim services unit with the Chattanooga Police Department. It's an absolutely essential position, because if you've ever, on average, a homicide case that gets charged takes about 18 months to 24 months to go through the system. That was, prior to COVID. Obviously, the pandemic, they shut down jury trials for almost 2 years. So things,
Oh, wow.
yeah. And so if you've ever been through that long process for 2 years, with families, with witnesses, it can be a roller coaster, because they're trying to do the right thing and come forward and say what they saw. But there's also, when they leave the courthouse, the courts building, they can't always be protected. So we have to be mindful of that. And I know the courts are, and the defense lawyers, but it is a reality that, people have to live with.
Okay. I only have 2 questions, two
right.
more questions, because I know we have 5 minutes left. But what factors in making decisions of legal merit do you think that a junior prosecutor might neglect?
Might neglect.
Or maybe not be as experienced, or
Some-
some concerns we should think about?
Sometimes when you first, I've seen when you first become a prosecutor, you think that every case is 100% right or correct, and that everybody that gets charged should end up going to jail. But I think, and that's just due to inexperience. That's not due to a personal bias. And you just have to take your time and watch the senior prosecutors around you, and watch the judge, and learn from defense attorneys. I've learned as much from defense attorneys as I have in my career as I have prosecutors. So, and we have a very knowledgeable bar lawyers who like to teach and train young lawyers. So you just have to learn as a young prosecutor to watch what's going on around you, and kind of get acclimated, and realize that there's more than one side to every story that comes before you.
Okay. And can you describe your proudest achievement as a prosecutor?
Oh, I don't know. There are a bunch of them. Anytime you can help a family, or help a victim, or lock some violent individual away, that's always satisfying. I think it's just working within the system, but also the office that we've created, and how talented my office is, from support staff to investigators to prosecutors. It's just a joy to be around them, and to know that they carry on their duties every day.
Do you think that any of the people that, those are defendants, right? When they've been charged.
Yes.
Do you think that they, that you've mentored any of them, or have any of them come back and given you that feedback?
Yeah. And, they've often come back, even some that out of prison, and thanked me personally for being fair, asked for help to find a job, asked for help to find housing. And I think they know that I've, always been fair, but sometimes justice demands people go to prison.
Yeah.
And sometimes it doesn't. And I think I've been pretty good with that. And I think they recognize that.
Okay. Well, thank you again so much for coming by. Again, you all, the election is May the 3rd, but early voting begins next week. So that's going to be next Wednesday, actually, on April the 13th, and it runs through April the 18th. You can also follow Mr. Pinkston's Facebook page. I've tagged it as Reelect Neal Pinkston, Hamilton County District Attorney. You can follow him on Facebook. You can also call into the station if you have more questions, 423-713-7614, and follow our Facebook page too. So you'll be able to rewatch this this video, this podcast, like and share. Make sure you're sharing it with your family. Share it with your offspring. Share it with your loved ones, because you can't say you love someone if you're not sharing knowledge. And this is definitely knowledge that we've talked about today. Some factual things, getting to know Mr. Pinkston and appreciate him, even with whatever happens. We still, from Chattanooga, want to say thank you for the time that you've dedicated over the past. You started in 2003. I was in 10th grade then. I'm telling your age, but you're young though. I thought that, when you think about DA, you're thinking it's going to be somebody like 50, 60, so you can relate to what's going on. So you've seen times change.
Thank you to all for having us. And anybody needs anything, then call the DA's office.
Yes, call the DA's office, y'all. Thank you, Chattanooga. We're going to go on a short break, and we'll walk Mr. Pinkston out to his car, because I'm in security today, babe. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you so will be dismissing 2 hours early today. Go pick them kids up. Stop by the store, get them a couple pack of noodles. Give them a sandwich too, because the noodles, you need a sandwich, go with the noodles, some chips. Get them some Capri Suns, because Hamilton County schools are they're dismissing 2 hours early today. So I got to go pick Josiah and Lester up. They said they're going to start the car rider line at 1:50. They tap into my boathouse time, into my Jay Alexander's time. So I'm going to hurry off of here. But so make sure y'all go pick up your kids. Y'all, they said the weather's going to get bad. They've got severe weather in the forecast. So y'all go pick the kids up, y'all. I know they tap it up. There go the alert right there. Severe weather is coming. Or is that an Amber Alert? Okay, so yes, weather is going to be getting bad, y'all. So make sure you go and pick up your children. Hamilton County schools are being dismissed 2 hours early today. So, yes. That interview with Neal Pinkston was very awesome. I'm so grateful for anybody that comes and stops by the Flava with Doll show and give me their time and come and pipe my show up one time. Had the DA in the office, sit right there in the chair. You know what I'm saying? The DA was sitting in there. Cool guy. Really cool guy. Shared a lot of information about what he's been doing. Been in office for a long time. Very long time. And been working to protect our streets for a long time. Excited to see the election. Again, special thank you to Cody Want that came on last week. That interview was awesome. She's such a smart woman. It's always empowering to see women in business and women doing things. So Want to say thank you to Cody once again. So you all tap in. And if you all know, anybody knows the other candidate, the Democrat candidate, that I need to get him on. I'm going to be on vacation next week. Girls Inc. will be filling in for me next Wednesday, y'all. So y'all won't hear me, but Girls Inc. is going to tap in and talk about the upcoming Unbossed luncheon that I am an honoree this year for. And so, yeah, they're going to tap in and give y'all some opportunities to tap in and support. But yeah, since I got a few, hey, Maraja, shout out to my mentee that's tuning in right now. But Girls Inc. will be tapping in and filling in for me. Last night we were at Spare Time. We went bowling. It was really fun. I really appreciate the opportunities that Girls Inc. is creating, not only for the girls, but also for women to stay involved and stay connected with the youth by creating these little outings that we do. So we've had cooking classes. We've had 8 ice cream. Last night we went bowling. It was really fun. I still got it a little bit, even though one of the mentees, they beat me. But yeah, I was up there. I came in second place. So yeah, just want to talk about a little bit about the school is blowing my phone up. I'm coming to pick up my children. I'm gonna be there on time. But yes, I do have some upcoming events going on. We're planning me and DJ Big Breezy. We're gonna have a event next month. So I'm not gonna tell the deets. Eloquent Marketing and Management, of course, is in the building. We're gonna put it together, but we definitely are gonna be doing an event. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned for that. And also anybody that is turning 65, receiving Medicare, will be receiving Medicare, make sure y'all reach out to me. I am covered by Doll, and I do market several different plans. Shout out to Humana for being a sponsor for my show. I love Humana. I love all of the carriers, but Humana, they support WPTP, and I appreciate them. And definitely, we have a lot of different plans that are available, and no premium, no monthly premium. So definitely don't want anybody missing out on benefits that they could be getting. So I can be reached at 423-619-8710. And of course, you can always follow me on Facebook at Doll Sandridge. So, yeah, it's raining. If anybody wants to call in today and let me know what's going on with their business or brand, 423-713-7614. I got another 30 minutes. But, just sitting right here tuning in. It's about to be raining. I don't know what I'm gonna do with my dog this weekend. I'm ready for spring break. Anybody got any plans for spring break? Gil, what you doing for spring break? Do you still celebrate spring break? No? No, no my spring break Miami for you and the missus this year? No, none of that. Y'all could be on a yacht somewhere. Oh, you don't like crowds? No. You love a crowd. I'm just harassing Gil. We got a little extra time today, a little leisure time. Bear me a little folly, if you will. But yes, shout out to all the single moms in the building. Shout out to the single dads too that are listening. I don't think single dads get enough credit. We have a lot of single parents that are doing it. And shout out to the double parent households as well. Y'all are doing it too. Shout out to the children with good parents. And if you don't got good parents, y'all call me. I might adopt a child or two. Or maybe, I don't know. But maybe for the rest of the show, we might just play a little music. I don't know. I gotta go pick up my kids, Gil. Can I get away with just playing music for the last 30 minutes? Okay. I love y'all, Chattanooga. I'm gonna miss you next week, Chattanooga. Again, Unbossed is May the 3rd. Girls Inc. is looking for sponsors. They're also looking for, so you missed the early bird table sales, but you can still buy a table. Reach out to Girls Inc. of Chattanooga. Or you can reach out to myself on social media. Shout out to my DJ Big Breezy, always on the ones and twos. I do not come in here without some heat from DJ Breezy. I love my DJ. I love his wife too. Shout out to all the Facebook viewers. Y'all make sure y'all like and share. And I want to say this before I go. Our new website is off the chain. Gil, have you seen the new website? Oh my gosh, it looks so good. If you all have a moment, go to our website, WPTP1001FM.com. Y'all go look at your girl. I'm on there looking cute or whatnot. Shout out to the photographer, Sarah Starkey at Tree of Life Photography. I mean, you just have to go look. Just go look at the website. Go look and see what we're doing. We're branding. We are beefing up the station. And this summer is going to be litty. Period. Big period. Not the little one. I'm going to go pick up my churro. It's going to be noodles and sandwiches tonight. I ain't cooking nothing.
away. I heard you was giving your chain away. That's kind of like giving your